noticed we got a whole lot of vine happening. There's been so much in my way, so I want to move it. And we got the lights in the background, which I've got my remote here. And I'm just going to keep changing the colors, throughout the video. So there we got a little bit of a pinky purple. And you guys tell me what color you like. Got a little bit of a darker purple. Ooh, I kind of like the mix, right? I've got 2 different sets of lights up. Technically it's 4 different sets. No, lies. It's 2. It's 2. But there's 2 different remotes, and if I click one twice, it'll change both lights. But if I only do it once, it only changes one set, which is kind of a neat little thing. I don't know why it does it, but somebody needs their brakes fixed. The traffic outside this little outhouse that I'm in is so ridiculous. We're like right on a main road. So I'm so sorry, because I feel like you guys are always getting the sound of garbage trucks, ambulances, policemen, firemen. It's just bananas. But I'm working on getting like a soundproof like wall to go around this space. So we'll see. I'm just kind of working through it at the minute. Anyway, moving on. Blue. So, I don't know if I've just been super lazy this year, or I've just got my routine on lock, but I have watched so many shows and finished movies, a couple movies, and books. I've read so much, but not just reading, it's a lot of like audiobooks, like Audible. And I think the other one that I subscribed to for the trial was like BookBeat, I think is what it was called. Anyway, I did a couple like audiobook trials, I'll tell you about, we have been talking about watching the second Avatar, The Way of the Water. Way of the Water, I think is what it's called. We had been talking about watching that forever, so we finally watched that. It was good. It wasn't as good as the first one, in my opinion. But I did like it. I enjoyed it for sure. If you watched any of these movies or shows, let me know. I'm curious to know your thoughts and if you enjoyed them or you were absolutely disappointed. We also watched Maverick, Top Gun. That one was really good too. Honestly though, it was just such a feel-good movie, which I really enjoyed about it. I love that they brought back so much of the original cast, like Jennifer Connelly and not Goose, but what's his name? Val Kilmer, which I think he's actually quite sick in real life, so it was really neat that they brought him back and gave him a couple of lines. It's nice to see them all again together. And Tom Cruise, my goodness, does this man just never age? He looks fantastic. I want to look like that when I'm older. Just have that good of skin. I mean, obviously, it probably has something to do with the fact that, he makes good money. Nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. Another movie that I watched, which this one I watched by myself, but I saw it on Netflix, and for some reason I had my headphones in and I was making the children some lunch one day and was like, I'm curious, called American Nightmare. And I'm not gonna lie, the first thing I thought of was ASMR by Linda, because she loves to do true crime, and I think she's kind of disappeared. Her channel, there's no videos up. So Linda, if you see this, I miss you, boo. But it made me think of her, and it's a documentary, and it's so interesting. It's 3 episodes, but honestly, you never think that these true crime documentaries or real life stories are gonna have happy endings, but despite all the shiznit that these guys go through, it was such a happy ending, and I was happy for them. Wow, what a journey. No one believed them. It was if you go and you have Netflix and you watch the trailer, it kind of shows that they were in the middle of the night. Somebody came into their house, tied them up, and then took the girl. This story was called the Gone Girl case, so they related it to the movie that Ben Affleck did called Gone Girl, because the girlfriend was taken, and then 3 days later, it's they just dropped her off in front of her dad's house, and she was fine, but she wasn't. So it's very interesting. I'm not gonna give anything away, but wow, what a story. I mean, it's terrible, terrifying, and awful. It was awful what this poor girl was put through, but yeah, it ended so well. I really like that green. What do you guys think of the green? The green. I actually really like it. But yeah, insane. But if you're a true crime watcher, I definitely recommend that one. It's very interesting. Called American Nightmare. TV shows. Let's go on to TV shows, because I don't remember any other movies I watched, even though I think I've watched others. we started watching at the very beginning of the year, The Last of Us. What? It's definitely like a zombie apocalypse kind of show, but it's so good, and I'm such a big, I don't remember his name, Pedro, what's his last name? He's, I think he's Colombian, isn't he? Anyway, the main actor, such a fan of his, it's very handsome. But, and then all I can think every time I see the main girl in that show is Bella Ramsey from Game of Thrones. What a little beast. She was awesome in that show. Anyway, very good show. Recommend it. Love it. Can't wait for it to return. We watched Lazarus. That's the other show we watched this year for 2024. What a mind F. That one's trippy and I love it. It reminded me a bit of that, what's that movie where it's like they keep repeating the same, like what happened, like I think it was like a presidential assassination or something, assassination attempt, and they keep repeating it. Vantage Point, that's the name of the movie, and that's a little bit what it reminded me of at first. The Lazarus Project is like the big bad umbrella corporation kind of company in this show, and they reset time. It's like time travel. They reset time every time that there is a world event that could potentially wipe out the population or create nuclear war, etc., etc. So they keep the peace by resetting time, and there's only a few people that know about it, and it's very like Matrix. If you've taken the red pill or the blue pill, then you potentially know the truth, and you will know the truth forever. But there's only this one company that can do it until they discover that a scientist has developed a way to time travel, and now they have to try to stop that. It is a beastie little show. I enjoyed it so much. Another one that I recommend. The next show that I finished, y'all don't judge me because sometimes I like a little reality TV, but I like this show because it reminds me of like old historical romance, like courting, called Love is Blind, and I know you know it because it's on Netflix, or maybe you don't know it. Let me not just make assumptions, but the American version wasn't out yet. That just came out like this past week, and I'm already like caught up and waiting for the new episodes on Wednesday. If you've watched it, tell me what you think so far. Who's your favorite couple? If I had to say who my favorite couple was, I definitely think, I can't remember their names. I think it's like the principal and the teacher. Those two are definitely my favorite. I love them. The gentleman is black and the girl is white, and she's like the cutest little like southern country girl, and he's just like this God-fearing stocky principal, and they're just so awesome together, and I love them, and I love that they're so like faith oriented, and yeah, they're my favorite. But if you watch it, let me know who your favorite is. Anyway, because it wasn't airing yet, I watched the Love is Blind Sweden version, and that was fun. Honestly, it was just so much fun to see the way other countries do things, to listen to their accent and their like the Swedish language. It was just it was so enjoyable to me, and to see how different it turned out for them versus how a lot of the American versions turn out. So if you like the American on season 2. There's just so many like popular faces in it. Like in this one, it's Taylor Kitsch, who is from Friday Night Lights. Love that show, one of my absolute favorites. Rachel McAdams, Colin Farrell is in it. Colin Farrell. And like a bunch of other faces that I've seen before. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. It's been around for a while though. I think they're on season 4 right now, but that's actually what got me watching it, is because I saw that Jodie Foster is in season 4, and I do like a good Jodie Foster movie. I think she is such a great actress, so it pulled me in, and I was like, let me start watching this show. It's they have different people in every season. It's very what was that show where they did different themes every year? Gaga was in one of them. Anyway, it was like there was a circus version. It was just intense. Anyway, it's kind of like that, where there's different actors each season. Super enjoyable. Not like uplifting by any means, but it's a good watch. On to books. Let's change these lights because I haven't done that in a minute. Ooh, what's the red look like? Let's do some red. Now it's like Christmas. Christmas. I don't think I never really loved the red lights, but we'll leave it for a minute. Books. Okay, so regular physical books. I finally finished Emily Henry's Book Lovers. Took me forever, not because it wasn't a good book. It was a fantastic book. If you like contemporary romance, read it. I read it as a recommendation from ASMR artist. Why am I blanking? And I feel like I do this every time. Haley Jean ASMR. Anyway, I'll get it right. I'll just pop it up on the screen. I got it as a rec from something she had posted, which was like her absolute favorite contemporary romance books. I don't like contemporary romance. I like historical romance novels. So this was a different type for me. But because she said it was her favorite, excuse my stomach, I haven't eaten breakfast. But because she spoke so highly of it, I was like, I'm gonna read it. This is yellow. I like the yellow too. So I was like, okay. And it was really, really good. Loved it. Recommend it. The next book that I actually read physical was The Tattooist of Auschwitz. Why can't I remember the name of the author? Anyway, it was so good. Y'all, like, based on a true story, it just broke my heart throughout, and I definitely recommend like reading stories about history that it just shakes you to the core, because it could totally happen again. There's nothing stopping this world from being controlled all over again. Like, it's just insane and intense and scary, and it just makes me want to build an underground bunker, I'm not gonna lie. Okay, I read also, this is the first audio book that I did with an audio website called BookBeat. I think it was called BookBeat. Anyway, I just tried a trial with them. They do, it's not based on like little tokens that you get to pick a book, right? And then that's what you get for the month. They do based on hours that you listen, so you can pay for that's what you get, or 40 hours, and that's what you get, and you just get to listen to their whole library, which I thought was fantastic. I was like, that's so much better than just only getting to choose one read, like one book a month. Like, if I'm only gonna get to choose one book and I'm gonna pay $14.99 or $7.99 for it, I might as well just buy the actual book. Like, I like physical books better anyway. So it just seemed silly to me. So I did the hours to try that out. But I think the reason that it's that way is because there's not a lot of the newer books up there, or like extreme bestsellers. There's no Sarah J. Maas, there's no Brandon Sanderson. There was only a few Julia Quinn, which right now I'm reading the Bridgerton series. And so the book that I was on for the series is not up there. A bunch of the like littler books, like smaller ones, like 4-hour ones, aren't up there. So I was like, nah, pass. But nonetheless, I did listen to Britney Spears' new book, The Woman in Me. Y'all, the hell this poor girl has been put through. Like, if that shit is like legit and real, the stuff they put this girl through is just nasty. It's mean, and it definitely is a book that seriously victimizes her. Like, but it's straight from her mouth, so I don't know. But that girl went through it, and if it's all true, I feel awful for her. It sucks. It sucks that her family did that to her, of all people. I can understand, like, strangers doing something like that to strangers, but not, and I can't even understand that. Like, humanity, we need to be better. But it's just awful that her family did that to her. Anyway, it was a good read. If you like a biography and you are into like the 80s pop princess, then it's definitely a read that you'd enjoy. And plus, Michelle Williams reading it is just, it was ace. She did a great job. The next one I listened to is Colleen Hoover's Finding Cinderella. I have never listened to a Colleen Hoover. I say listened or read a Colleen Hoover, and I've heard so much about her. People have hyped her up so much. And Finding Cinderella was just this short little one that I saw that I was like, let me give it a try. She writes superbly. I love the way she writes. So I will say that. I will definitely read more of her stuff, for sure. 110%. The book itself got me interested. It got boring after a while until it's like the catch, the hook, and it was just like, that's it. Okay, wow. A bit of like a young adult contemporary romance. So not really my genre, but it was cute. It was. It's a cute little listen. Like, I think it was only like a 4-hour listen, or 3 or 4 hours. So it was cute, and because I do so many other things at the same time, it definitely made it worth it. I finished physical book, The Bridgerton, and I wrote it down. It's His Kiss. It's Hyacinth Bridgerton's story. So she's like the youngest girl. It's okay. It wasn't the best one, in all honesty. I don't know why I love the Bridgerton series so much, because I don't love the way that Julia Quinn writes. But I like it. The idea is fantastic, and I'm a massive Karen Hawkins fan, and she like helped create the Bridgerton original writer. Like, how do I say that? The one that did the gossip series in it. I'm blanking. what? Like, they're cheating with married men. There's a ton of, like, how do I say this? Like, and it be politically correct and in the way that I want to say it, but there's a lot of, like, girl on girl stuff happening, which is fine, to each their own. But when you are depicting real life church women and saying that they are, like, here is how they hold themselves up on this pedestal, but really they're all just sinners. It's like, yeah, I get the concept, but when you're just slamming that in everyone's face, like, it's like, chill. Like, not all church going women are that way. So, but like, the whole book is just in your face like that, and it's a lot to take in. And it's like, at one point, one of the women is sleeping with the pastor and then forces her daughter to go to his house and help tutor his son. It's intense. But yeah, if you're like one of those that's like, ooh, I love the spilled tea and like gossip, and you know, there you go. That's that. That's that book. It just wasn't for me. I was like, this is too much. Can we like tone it down a bit, or at least take it back to a story that shows some good-heartedness, right? Like, the first story kind of talks about this girl with this other girl. They've been best friends, and the one girl is obviously in love with the one, but that one wants to get married someday, and they keep hooking up, but she thinks that she's still a virgin and she wants to find a man. And it's like, baby doll, stop leading her on. Like, it's just wrong. I don't know. Anyway, and that's kind of like the end of the story. You never find out what happens to them, and not my cup of tea. The end. Currently, I am on Jennifer Niven's Holding Up the Universe, which I'm enjoying so far. I'm like only 4 or 5 chapters in. And what is the one I'm listening to? I'm blanking. I don't remember the one of, oh, it's a Liz Mitchell book. Hung Up on You or something like that. Still Hung Up on You. I don't know, it's only like a 2-hour listen, so I clicked into it and we'll see how it goes. But anyway, what are you currently reading or listening to if you do audiobooks? What shows have you watched for 2024? Is there any that you would recommend? And what has been your favorite color that I've put up back here so far? I can't decide. Look at that purple. I do love a purple, and I like this pinky purple, and I especially like the green. I think those are some of my favorites, but let me know yours. Anyway, if you've made it this far, leave me a book emoji or a TV emoji. I always love hanging out and spending time with you. I appreciate you. Love you too, bits. And I'll see you on my next one.